What's up, y'all? Welcome to another review by Ryan. I hope you all have had a wonderful week. Welcome to Friday. Happy Friday or Saturday whenever you get to see this video reaction. In this reaction, we'll be reacting to the 10th episode of the second season of Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. The multi-titles of this episode is Kozue Makihara wants to have fun. Chika Fujiwara wants to unmask. Miyuki Shirogane's Culture Festival. But before we start, you know what time it is. It is time for our week ratings. So, as always, as I've been using the Kaguya video for, I use this to talk about how shows have been doing via Anime Corner's ratings. And I'm actually going to be bringing in one more rating site that I'm just going to kind of throw in at the end, and I'm gonna talk, and you'll know why I'm doing that, because we had just an incredible shakeup in week 10. So, as always, thank you so much to Anime Corner and to all of you who vote in Anime Corner's ratings. This is the week 10 ratings that ended today for the results of June 3rd to June 10th, week 10. And as you can see, we got some talking to do, guys, because Data Live. I'm as someone who is watching Data Live Season 4 right now and have been absolutely ecstatic with what the season has been doing so far. While I don't know if last week's episode was my number one episode of the week, Kurumi effect is real. The Kurumi effect is real. The Kurumi effect is real. Wow, because Data Live is the number one. Has completely ousted every other show for the first time this season to take the great number one spot of Anime Corner's ratings. Of course, we had a really nice episode too. Don't get me wrong, it was a wonderful episode. Anytime Kirby's on screen, it always makes me feel ways that I should not be feeling about an animated character. But alas, that's what Kirby does to you. But the community came out in great length, and probably most Kirby fans, and Data Live has taken the number one spot. Your boy Kong Ming, which has been down in the ratings the last two or three times we've checked these end of week ratings, is now back in number 2. And again, because I haven't been consistently watching it, I can't really say what happened that led to it being in number 2, but it is in number 2. Apparently you guys absolutely loved the last episode that came out, and the community agreed that it deserved to be in the number 2 spot, at least via Anime Corner. And number 3, I kind of vouch for this one. Tomodachi Game had an amazing episode on Wednesday. Yuichi is a freaking savage. That man is a savage. And don't believe anything that transpired at the end of that episode, because it's a lie. We all know it's a lie. And as a non-manga reader, I know it's a lie. But it was a great episode. It was definitely a top 10 episode. And apparently it was strong enough to many of you that 7.11% of the votes went to Tomodachi Game. So for the first time all season, we have had a complete shakeup in the top 3. Obviously, Data Live has been writing in top 3. Your boy Kami, all 3 of these shows I think have been in top 3 once, but not at the same time. And that is important to talk about, because in number 4, dropping 3 places for the first time since week 5 and only the second time in this spring season, Spy X Family has fallen to only 6.29% of the votes, putting it at number 4. And I've been saying this, that the other shows were starting to get really strong. And even though Spy X Family has been absolutely perfection, it has been perfection. So do not let these ratings confuse you for a second that Spy X Family suddenly is not perfection anymore. It is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. It is, as I said, for me, the best show that is showing in this current anime year. Well, current anime season, I'll say. I'll have to think on the year thing a little later. And definitely one of those generational anime shows that we will not forget anytime soon. But with that said, sometimes these shakeups happen, and the community can get swayed by any minor set of results, by any minor set of circumstances, depending on what happened. And Data Live, Kurumi returned. And that was all it needed. That's all it needed. That shows you how loved and appreciated Kurumi is as a character. But Spy X Family had a great episode last week. They really did. It definitely dived a bit more deeper into the dynamics between Yor and Lloyd. And it was a great episode. Just, unfortunately for it, Tomodachi, your boy Kangmi, and Data Live just had a big showing of people who voted. And also, I've been saying this because the last couple of weeks, we've only had 8,000 people responding. This week, we had 4,000 more. And the more people you get, the more shrewd the votes can go. And these type of developments can happen. So Spy X Family is in the number 4 position right now. The Executioner and Her Way of Life coming up from the ashes of spot 17 all the way up 12 spots to 5. Again, haven't really been watching. But apparently you guys loved it this week because it's sitting in number 5 with 6.20% of the votes, a 12-spot increase from its 17 spot last week. And in number 6, I saw this one coming. Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic. While it had a great episode last week, there was a bit of disappointment from some people because there was really not a lot of interaction between the, as everyone wants to say, the superstars of the show, which of course is Kaguya and Miyuki. And while they did have interaction in the maid cafe and everything, really we had the return of the great ramen ones, and their interactions were relatively finite. And as of such, that kind of reflects in the ratings. However, I do want to give a big shout out to my man Ishigami because, oh my goodness, what an amazing performance by him in the last episode, and actually having the balls and the confidence and the Chad level energy to ask his girl out on a date to the whore thing. So I'm so stoked with his performance in that episode, regardless of Kaguya being in the number 6 spot right now. Very proud of what my man did in the last episode. But yeah, Kaguya is in number 6, so I know it's odd seeing Spy X Family and Kaguya not in the top 3. These things happen, and I want to remind you all that once the week-by-week ratings are over and we go to the seasonal ratings, none of these are even going to matter because we're going to see where the community really sits as being the top and the bottom. So, with number 7, Aharen is Indecipherable. I started watching this show about 2 weeks ago. It's not a show that I'm doing video reactions to. I think I'm up to episode 6, getting ready to start with episode 7. And obviously I heard that there were some really big developments between their dynamics and those two as basically the couple that I already know they are, even without them having a title, because those guys have been a couple since episode 1. It is definitely a fun show to watch. But I'll be fair, I don't know if it's a top 10 for me, but I do still greatly enjoy it, and the community loves it enough that it did get 3.89% of the vote, putting it up 4 spots and putting it into the number 7 spot. So real good stuff for Aden. Apparently the community's really loving it. Number 8, Summertime Rendering. Not much to be said there because, again, I have to watch it. Probably won't even get to a chance to fully watch it until the end of the season's done. But I am going to watch it, guys. So don't worry. I'm going to finish watching it. I promise you that. But it did fall a couple spots, but it still is in the top 10 in the number 8 spot with 3.74% of the votes. Number 9, Love After World Domination. The show that should not be a top 10 show, but here we are. It is. It is sitting. It went up 1 spot from number 10 to number 9. It with 3.7% of the votes. And number 10, last but not least, coming in right at the end of everything, is The Rising of the Shield Hero, falling 3 spots to number 10 at 3.49% of the votes. And Rising of the Shield Hero has definitely been consistently getting better and better as the season has gone along. However, my big fear with The Rising of the Shield Hero is a case of too little, too late. And anyone that has been watching it will know that for me personally, to be able to rank this show even at an 8 out of 10, which is the highest I can give it for this season, every episode has to be a 10 out of 10 for that to be the case. And while this second arc has been far better than the first arc was, way better, it hasn't been 10 out of 10 every episode. And I'm going to talk about that. If you want to hear more about my opinions about Shield Hero, definitely go check out my Shield Hero reaction. So, this is your top 10 for Anime Corner. But I want to talk for just a moment, and I know this is going to make this reaction a bit bigger, but I want to talk just a moment about my frustration with a show that didn't make it into the top 10 on Anime Corner's reaction, which is also why I'm pulling up Anime Trending's reaction in a moment. Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie has been a top 10 show for me this year. This season. Every week. It has been consistent. The characters, the side characters are wholesome, well-rounded, and well-written. Shikamori and Izumi is well-written. And our most recent addition to this colorful cast, Kamiya. is not only well written, but her performance in the last 2 episodes was, quite frankly, masterful story writing by this show that honestly doesn't do anything over the top, but it just paints a wholesome picture with wholesome characters and healthy relationships. And I want to talk about that. Healthy relationships. There's no gimmicks in Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. There's no over abuse. Yes, there's jealousy and this and that and questioning yourself and if you're worthy of a person and the whole 9 yards. But there's healthy dialogue, healthy communication, things that I love to see out of these type of shows. And what we saw between Shikimori and Kamiya in this last episode was nothing short of a masterful performance. I cried that whole reaction. I beg you guys, go watch my reaction when you get a chance. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I cried from the very second the episode started until the very second the episode ended, and I cried throughout talking about my thoughts of that show. What brings me disappointment with the community is that, at least particularly in the West, if the male MC is not a strong, dominant personality and is not either it just exuding swag and building a harem or whatever the circumstance may be, you guys don't like them. They're boring. They're not amusing. With Izumi, you don't like the fact that he has this bad luck. And there are literally people out there in the world that literally have the type of luck he has and just always come out on the short end of the stick every single time. It's a realistic situation. And what we see is a dominant female personality that is just a really wonderful character, if there was any questions about that we saw in this last episode, that understands that people are going to see his niceness, his kindness, and obviously naturally questions herself and gets positive reinforcement by the male MC. Positive reinforcement that we don't see very often. And I fail to understand why this last episode did not make it in the top 10. So if anyone does actually watch this first segment and gets to this point, please tell me, if you are watching the show, did you like the episode? Did you hate the episode? And outside of the reason everyone keeps giving because he has bad luck, please tell me legitimate reasons why this is not a top 10 show for you. And again, if we do end up having dialogue in the comments, I'm more than welcome to have open dialogue on this subject. But I am very disappointed not seeing Shikimori not crack the top 10 this week. And I knew that for this show, because of how critical the community has been on this show, if it didn't crack the top 10 this week, it won't crack the top 10 any the rest of this season. And it came in 17th place on Anime Corner's ratings. I'm incredibly disappointed in that. And I think that we've gotten so used to toxic relationships between males and female characters and MCs that when we see something incredibly healthy like this, that we don't know what to do with ourselves. And the fact that the male MC is considered useless in this case, which in this case he's absolutely not. But this brings me, as upset as I've been with Anime Corner, to Anime Trending, another equally popular site. I haven't shared any of their ratings, and I'm putting it up on the screen now, in which their results actually comes out on June 5th. So they release every Sunday compared to Anime Corner, which released today on Friday. So obviously this list on Anime Trending is kind of outdated now as far as Anime Corner goes, because they came out in 2 different segments. This came out much sooner. But alas, in the top 10 for Anime Trending, and I'll start using them as a backup comparison. In number 1, Spy X Family remained at the top. Kaguya-sama remained at the top in number 2. Summertime Rendering remained in 3. Komi Can't Communicate, and I'm actually really happy to see that Komi Can't Communicate is showing up in one of the ratings, so good job voting this, at least in this rating, because I think Komi has also done a tremendous job with their show this season. Unfortunately, they're just plagued by the release date issues because they're on Netflix. But they're in number 4. Number 5 is Tomodachi Game, and number 6 is Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. So thank you so much for those of you who voted in Anime Corner, in Anime Trending. I'm glad to see in one of the polls y'all realized that this was a great episode and that Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie absolutely deserved to be in the top 10. And I'm going to go on record to say this: Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie was my best episode of week 10. It was my best episode. It brought emotions out of me that were not brought out of me by any other show that I watched in week 10. and it was my personal favorite. So I want to give a big shout out to Shikamori's Not Just a Cutie and what they're doing. While some of the community does not appreciate what this show is doing, I appreciate what this show is doing. And I pray and hope that we get more content like this from the author, the editor in charge, the studio that's doing this. Phenomenal job with this. In number 7 was Data Live. So obviously Data Live re-entered, but is being voted slightly lower than it is, well, a lot lower than it is on Anime Corner, because on Anime Corner, it's been riding in the top spot for a while now. Rising of the Shield Hero is in number 8. Ahiran-san is in number 9, and your boy Kangming is at the end in number 10. So I definitely will post Anime Trending's results up a little bit more as backup comparisons, just to see just how fragile and how crazy it can be with these ratings, and how one little thing can swing the community one way or another, even between polls. But with that said, thanks for listening to me vent a little bit about that. I actually was a lot calmer talking about the Shikamori thing, because I knew Shikamori was going to get cut this week because of how people feel about that male MC. And, it's just disappointing that it didn't, that Anime Corner, the people who did the ratings here did not respond favorably to the episode. But I am happy to see that Shikamori was responded to favorable in the Anime Trending one. So with that said, thanks a lot for listening to this segment. I had a lot to talk about, a lot of feelings that I felt about this week's ratings. And a big thank you again to all of those on both of the forums for all of your votes this week. And one more thing about Anime Trending too. Anime Trending apparently also is separate by weeks. This was the week 8 ratings for them that was posted for voting period of May 29th to 5th, while the spring season technically is in week 10, week 11. So in my opinion, I think Anime Corner is more closely aligned with the week that we are actually on than Anime Trending. But alas, it just is what it is. So thanks a lot, guys, for listening to this segment. I hope, and again, if your show made the top 10, a big congratulations. If your show didn't make the top 10, better luck in the next set of weeks when their new ratings come out. So with that said, Kaguya-sama is our reaction now. We're going to get focused back on this reaction. And again, we had a wonderful episode last week. I just wanted to see a little bit more when it came to that interaction that happened with Miyuki and Kaguya, but we might get that in this episode. So with that said, I'm going to repeat the title again. The title for episode 10 of Kaguya-sama, Love is War Ultra Romantic. Kozue Makihara wants to have fun, Chika Fujiwara wants to unmask, and Miyuki Shirogane's culture festival. So with that said, let's get this episode started in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. That's weird. Bunch of weirdos. We collecting ears now? Well, what are we? Seriously. Oh. She's so adorable, I swear. Aw. And eye mask. Dang. Bro, this sounds like this a dope horror house. I want to visit it. Emergency. Sound. Hmm. Ah! Please stop, Miko. I'm done with Miko. President for life. Tape. What the heck? That's a lot of money. Yeah. That was very smart. Bruh. Oh, what the heck? Y'all, this school dangerous as hell. I've been saying this for Oh. I'm actually glad I'm watching this episode with headphones on, no lie. What in the heck? That was the trump card. Wow, with the rubbing of the shoulder and everything. Yo. Yo. We are way off script at this point. Oh no! Niggas like, I quit this fucking school. Oh, yay! They were destroyed. What in the... What are y'all doing? Get out the closet! Y'all cut my man! Man! Wait! Screw this! Y'all really cuffed him like that! After he built up all his courage for... I don't even care about the rest of this episode. I quit. Middle school class. Okay, Ryan, you gotta watch the rest of the episode. I'm so mad. Who is this? I'm not even focused now. I'm so mad for my man. He got cuffed again. Oh, you might as well give up on that idea. Well, yeah. I'm pretty confident that... Oh, bruh. Bruh, you a little too young. Mama Chika is traumatized! Oh, look at that. Chika's like, I have to train him! Oh! Aww. Ah. She's trying to embarrass the hell out of this man. Chika, you ain't nothing! Chika is backfired. Whoa, toss the bottle. A dead alpaca. Whoa, Chika, chill with your commentary. I mean, in fairness, I can't juggle, so. Chika, you raised your man, you raised your son. This is your child, be proud of him. Look at this legendary, you're a little too young to her, I'm sorry. But anyway, look at this legendary guy right here. What a Chad. What? Your plan backfired epically. Well, that didn't work in your favor, Chika. Oh! Yo! 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 Don't be this way, Kaguya! She's a child! Even younger than you! Bruh, don't be that way! I mean... It's gonna be okay, Kaguya. Oh. Yo! Yo, she about to write this girl off after she finishes freaking out. Oh my goodness. Never mind. No, she's not going to. That's what I'm saying. You have nothing to worry about. Bruh, I knew she was about to write her off. Bruh, she was about to straight death note this girl. Descent into gore averted. Oh, wow. Well, that was a mess. Oof. No, it failed miserably. We were cut. I swear. There's still hope. Dang. Look at my man. Yes! Let's go! I have no idea what just happened. He wasn't exactly turned down, but... And he has no idea that's what he... Well, I mean, he does now. That's respect. Yeah. As actual real friends do. Yo. I did not expect it to happen at the moment it did. Yo, you was so trifling! Chicas. Bruh. Bro, we about to write a list about you. You keep messing around, Chika. You just been savage this season. You trifling and evil. We love you, but jeez. Yeah. Yeah, because by accident, he set it in motion now. Industrial waste. Wow. Chika, I swear, I never know how to feel about her comments. And we're not going to get the answer this episode. Yep. Damn. Damn, what a cliffhanger. Damn. I didn't know it was going to be like, wait, and it was an accidental one, too. Yo, I want an anime just based off this ending. For real. They just make this as a side story after the season's over. Honestly, now that I said it out loud, this is actually a really nice side story, actually. The final day. What? Oh, wow. Okay. Um, wow. So, unpack time. Yeah, that happened. So, this was a very funny episode. First off, we got to meet the vice president. Well, first, there's so much that happened. I'm just going to go out of order now. So, of course, we got to meet Chika's little sister, who's the vice president of her middle school, which we now know also has a crush on Miyuki, but we know how those type of crushes can go. First off, age difference alone, it ain't happening. Second off, it ain't happening because if you tried, you're gonna actually get removed from the face of existence by Kaguya. I was pretty worried for her safety there as she started stepping on a whole bunch of landmines and was actually saying really good things about him because she realized, oh, I have to get rid of this girl before she gets older. Oh, but yeah, so that happened. Of course, the PDA couple of this show decided to ruin everything, and I thought almost completely destroyed my man Ishigami's plan, which is why I did not see what happened at the end of this episode coming until we zoomed back in on focusing on what they were getting ready to do. Ishigami had no idea he was about to do that, though, and we're gonna get back to that in a moment. Chika. This girl, Chika, I love Chika with all my heart and soul, I do. But you know, when Chika does again what she did several episodes ago and has done throughout, especially this show, she has definitely gotten more savage in this third season than she ever was in season 2 or season 1. And she is incredibly aggressive. Like, oh my goodness, there's a comment that I want to say, but it would not be appropriate and would probably get my video completely demonetized and people going down my throat in the comments. I'm not going to say that comment. I am going to say that Chika needs a chill pill, though. I love her to death, but my goodness, the girl says everything that comes to her mind. And I'm sitting like, Chika, don't make me get started with you, girl. Like, I swear. But I love her, though. I do love her, though. And obviously, we know that she means well. Well. Even though she did not have to call my people industrial waste. Like, industrial waste? Like, my goodness. Come on, girl. What the hell's wrong with you? But yeah. Now, I'm going to talk about the end, though, because obviously I have a very soft spot for my man Ishigami, and we're definitely going to go into the last episode now with that hanging on the balance. It appears one of two things. Well, two things now. The chances of us getting a confession out of Miyuki and Kaguya is now highly unlikely in this season because we now have to change gears to resolve this ordeal that is now imminently happening with Ishigami and Tsurume. He accidentally confessed to her with the heart-shaped cookie without him realizing that that's what happened. And so now the ball's in motion. And what they said, I do agree with. That normally when you have people in your inner circle and they're trying to shoot their shot and something has gone very wrong, you want to help them feel better about the situation. And so because that has now happened, we're now going to have to focus on that. And I think that this is now a better time than ever than to go ahead and resolve that. How Tsurume responded and reacted, I don't know how this could go. This could go one of two ways. She might have just been thrown completely off guard because this happened in front of a whole bunch of people, the entire populace of that class, in which everyone's fixated around love in this cultural festival. So, she might have just been overwhelmed, and she may come around. It could be one of three things. She could outright return his feelings, and they could actually hypothetically start at bare minimum going on dates before this season is over. She could ask for more time to get herself mentally together, or she could reject him. Obviously, rejection would be the worst case scenario in this picture, and a rejection would absolutely also end any chances of a confession from our two headliners of the show. But, I want my man to find happiness, and I do think that they meshed very well. I think he just caught her off guard with that, and obviously she'll realize that there was no ill intent by that, or he didn't mean to do that to her in that type of setting. But who knows? We don't know except the manga readers, and I'm avoiding y'all because y'all are going to spoil everything about if they're going to become a thing or not. So yeah, with that said, my opinions of this episode is we are definitely getting into heavy stuff now, and this cultural festival has definitely turned on its side and its head now, and who knows what could come in the next episodes as we wind down this very good season, very great, masterful season of Kaguya-sama. So with that said, that is my reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and have enjoyed this season. Thank you for those who listened to my thoughts on how all the rest of the shows are going also at the start of this video. And yeah, if you did like this reaction and want to see more content, please like and consider liking and subscribing to the page. And if you want to be one of the first to be notified when a new reaction becomes available, hit the bell icon. I am about to release my video over the weekend of what my spring watches is going to be, so look forward to that video coming soon, as we do have to start thinking about our summer shows. Correct? I think I said spring. The summer shows we're going to be watching, as we do have to get ready for the summer shows, which are imminently getting ready to drop at the end of the month. So I hope you guys are looking forward. You have some favorites in your list, and I will drop that video probably either late tomorrow or on Sunday. So that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next week, I'll catch you guys later. Hey y'all, so one more thing I wanted to add on to this, and this tends to happen every now and then when there's an episode where a lot of moving parts are happening. I might miss talking about something. There was a very critical thing that I needed to talk about, and that was, for all you ear fetish people, well, this episode was quite a treat for you, and I'm not gonna lie, I might have an ear fetish too, because wearing headphones watching this episode during that entire haunted house segment was absolutely an experience that if you watch this episode on like regular speakers, put some headphones on and watch that whole segment, because man, what an eargasm that was. Big ups to A1. I mean, again, I can't say enough positive things about the direction that this season has gone. And I know that I said that my 10 out of 10 on this season completely hinged on the balance of if we got some level of a confession, finally, between Kaguya and Miyuki. However, this does not take away from the fact that this season, much like season 1 and season 2, has definitely been the best yet. This has been phenomenal, and this, I almost forgot what show we were watching with the entire scene that happened in the haunted house, and them tying Miko up, and also we found out that girl's a freak. So yeah, there's that too. My goodness, because she was struggling, I was struggling, everybody that was doing this recording was a freak. Ridiculous stuff going on here. Oh my goodness, and if you didn't have an ear fetish before this episode, you have one now, thanks to this anime and this scene. But all kidding aside, amazing job, A1. Y'all did y'all ass with that entire scene. Like, my goodness. So I just wanted to add that on too, because I did not want to leave that out, because obviously there was so much that transpired. I had to cool down from the revelations of the second half of the episode to go back to the first half, and an absolutely tremendous presentation that was the great horror house eargasm experience. And I gotta tell you, that entire horror house, I want to go to a horror house like that, because I've been disappointed by horror stuff as of late in my life. So that is the type of horror house I might be down for joining. Minus the people making out in a freaking locker because they can't freaking not PDA for 1 second of their lives. So it must be nice to be able to do that. I'd be too nervous, even if I did, like, affection to that extent. every second of the day. But I just wanted to add that into this just to talk about that this was a really well-rounded episode and it had something for everybody. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll catch you guys next week.